So thank you everyone for being here live today.
Mhm.
Let me double check if our recording is working because if you're joining us now, watching this on our YouTube channel, on our Master Tree YouTube channel, okay, then you couldn't make it. That's totally okay. We do our parent education nights once a month. Usually we have an activity for you, but today we just want to go through the news and the programs and all sort of the back to school kind of stuff. So here is a little bit why we do this. All right, it's really important for us to strengthen this bridge between us parents, between the school and us teachers. So I'm speaking here as school, as parent, and as teacher, and I know how valuable your time is. I really value that you were able to come here today because I remember what it was like to get four kids to school and get all the materials and the uniforms and all this together. So I know you guys are all pretty stressed out at this moment. So let's just sort of take a deep breath. We got the first 2 days in. Okay. I hope that your kids already had a good experience. I hope that they already shared some things. I see Connor here. Connor, you're still wearing your shirt from archery today. So, Connor, since I have you on here, you're an expert, okay? And this is not your first rodeo. How was archery today?
Um, it was really fun because you're just shooting with a bow and arrow, and that's fun. But
Yeah.
um, it's hot and fun.
It was hot. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Connor. That is actually something that we've observed the last 2 days. It's really hot right now. So I'm asking you guys to make sure that your kids come well hydrated. Some of the kids are not used to being outside. So if you're a new family to Massachusetts, the kids are outside for a good hour a day, if not more, because we usually meet in the mornings. We meet outside. Mornings are still kind of okay, but it's still hot. So for the next month or so, we have them eat inside. We have them like, just make sure that they're well hydrated, do a lot of water breaks and everything because it is really hot. Remind your kids, we're not pestering them. We're like literally worried that they don't get enough water. So we're asking them like every 5 minutes if they can, if they had enough water. All right, so here is our agenda. What I wanted to talk about just real quick, um, how the Welcome Week is working. So apart from the heat, why are we even doing this sort of summer camp style intro week at the beginning of the school year? I'm going to say a few words about this and why is it important for us that we put so much effort into integrating new kids, new families, new parents, and so forth. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the after school classes that the kids or that you can sign up your kids for. We have meal plans this year, so we have lunch menus catered, so you can sign up for those. And then we're going to talk about the Parent Teacher Association, the PTA, some of our routines and schedules. But most importantly, today is all about your questions so that we can, already sort of cover some of the most frequently asked questions. And then, of course, we're always open for comments. So just real quick here, what is it actually that we are doing with Master Tree Whole Child Education? What is this? All right, you may have wondered why we do so many different things with the kids. Today we did clay work with them. Um, we did archery. We are doing oration, like how to present a poem, how to speak publicly, how to create stories, how to, think in ways that open up the kids for more than just, spelling and math and all these things, obviously, that they need to learn. The way this works, and this is not something that we invented, so you guys are all familiar that we call ourselves Waldorf inspired. So Waldorf School puts a lot of effort into developing life skills, into developing a sense for wellness, a sense for social emotional awareness, a sense for nature, a sense for the food that we're eating, and obviously, all the needed sort of basic skills that are required or necessary for the kids, the faculties, yeah, to develop them, and all that happens in sort of an age appropriate manner where the tier one, which is our kindergarten to lower second grade, and then our tier two, which is our higher second graders till fourth grade, and then our tier three, where we have the higher fifth graders and the middle schools, which we also separate then by, fifth graders and second grade and sixth graders sometimes, and the older middle schoolers. Why is that important to us? Because regardless of your kids' academic capabilities, there is something very, very important that happens at different stages of their development. And these stages, they cannot be expedited, no matter, say, how intelligent your kid is, and vice versa. If your child is very mature for his or her age, but lacks a little bit in academics, then the way a Waldorf school will look at it is sort of always prioritizing the maturity of the child. And we will learn later why this is so important in our society today, because we have a lot of sort of age inappropriate exposure for our kids. It's very, very difficult for us parents to really control this. And so there needs to be a little bit of a space where all teachers who are very qualified, they're highly qualified, the teachers that we have, are able to differentiate that. Yeah, so this is not necessarily a given. So obviously the Waldorf philosophy also bleeds through in our curriculum. This is all very sort of fine, highly curated, okay, what we're teaching to children at a specific age. All right, so here you can see this a little bit summarized. And the truth of the matter is that we are extremely successful in that. That means that academic excellence is sort of coming to the kids with no effort. It just it just so happens, yeah, without performance pressure or test prep or them feeling that they're constantly competing. So as we are, experiencing a huge demand there, we're also now at a point where, and this happened in the last 2 years, where we constantly had to think about how can we expand, how can we, sort of make this accessible for more families that want what we have to offer. And there are some exciting news, so that we weren't just sort of planning on you know, just doing more classrooms and getting more teachers and, just replicating something which is not really replicatable. It's a highly relational, highly dialogical process that we have where we really bond with your kids and do this in a very sort of individual way. This cannot just be replicated, like a machine. So the good news is that we have very detailed plans for our second campus, for our community campus. So this is a rendering of what we're planning to do, and we've talked about it last year already. Those are not just plans. This is an actual property that exists already. Yeah, that is already used as a homeschool enrichment, a very small, just one classroom property with horses. And what we are trying to do now within the next 2 years, so this will take at least 2 years, to build a whole sort of little village here, as you can see with these dome buildings, representing different kinds of classroom, different age groups, etc. So these are, this is just an impulse for you to see that when we talk about community, we're actually talking about something very tangible for us. Yeah, it's not just a word. This is really what we are aiming for as a school. This is our vision. All right. Yeah, and this leads me then here, and I'm just like zooming through this, guys, because I just want to cover it and not really discuss it. So bear with me here for a moment. Why do we do this every year? This is a lot of effort for for the school, to provide this sort of like experience for your kids. Well, first and foremost, we really cherish, we're really grateful for any new family joining us. And there's no better way to do this integration for new kids and new parents than in a more relaxed sort of not so strictly academic yet, not like no homework, so this whole week there's no homework, like to ease everybody in and especially because that's the most important. Have the kids, get to know each other, make new friends, and sort of realign after 2.5 months of summer. It's always kind of difficult in this first week to get the kids to get up on time, get them dressed, to get them to school on time. And so we're trying to sort of make it a little easier on all of us, by easing the kids in with a lot of fun. Now, why did we choose Greek mythology? The parents of older kids here, of older students, know this, that there is a sort of a revival of the interest in Greek mythology through Percy Jackson. The parents that have younger kids or not really familiar with Rick Riordan's popular book series. For you guys, it's really just important to understand that the reason why we do Greek mythology in the first week is that we get to do a lot of different projects. First of all, a lot of sort of fine motor skills that we can practice there, but also projects that allow the kids to merge their intellectual thinking with their mythological thinking, with their fantastical thinking. The older kids are then, led into sort of the aspects of logic, the aspects of the scientific method and so forth through the Greek scientists, mathematicians, and philosophers. The younger kids really enjoy sort of the fantastical aspect of the Greek gods and all this, and the cool stories that are somehow sort of implemented in our subconscious, all of us, really as sort of the foundation of human consciousness. So Greek mythology is sort of the basis of our archetypal thinking, if you so will. There's so many games that we sort of tie in with these archetypal stories that reflects sort of the developmental stage that the kids are in. So you see here for the tier one, which is mostly, this first age group here, 3 to 6, a little bit 7 to 9, autonomy. And they need to build a good sense of truth. They need to know that they are safe. This is the first priority. And autonomy means that they are, able to feel it when something feels right to them and something doesn't feel right for them, and that they learn to ask questions, that they go into this inquiry at all times, that they're free to ask any question. And then later, as they sort of progress through kindergarten, first grade, second grade initiative, that they develop the confidence to also answer or to have ideas or to make suggestions. Yeah, that they learn about themselves, that they can do things, that they can, actually, that they know things. This is a really cool experience for us teachers. Then in tier two, so the age group 9 to 11, 12, it's about the kids learning that they are an individual, that they have individual talents, that they have individual preferences, maybe hobbies, things that they are really interested in, and we're promoting that. Yeah, we're like, oh, you're great at singing. You didn't even know you were good at singing or dancing or sewing or counting money or, having ideas for certain projects. Okay, so we're reinforcing, we're helping the kids to find out what they're good at. Yeah, at that age. And then in tier three, when we enter, middle school, sort of we have fifth grade, which is sort of the last grade of like, you know, childhood, if you will. And then we are, then working with the emerging middle schoolers, in a more intellectual way. That's where the curriculum gets a little bit more serious as far as studies is concerned, as far as like really diving into detailed knowledge and them actually understanding that there's something going on inside of them whenever they do research or create something or get good at something um, that builds their confidence. Yeah. So just real quick, I don't want to uh, bore you with this, but as a whole sort of school community, for us, it's about these five main things that you see here on the screen that I pointed out: a healthy body, mind, heart, and spirit awareness, community and culture appreciation. We love the fact that we all come from different backgrounds, from different countries, from different cultures and ethnic groups. And all that you guys are bringing in this way, enriches all of us, the teachers included. Sensory integration, movement, speech integration is a very, very important part of not just brain development, but development of confidence. Whether it's martial arts or dance and you're with me, or theater or singing. By the way, good news, we have a choir now. So we're starting our choir. And no, it's not mandatory. All kids always learning how to sing here at our school, but the choir that we're forming will be like a performing choir. So they will be singing at theater plays, they will be singing at parent events and festivals and so forth. So if this is something that you are interested in for your children, then let us know. It's part of the after school clubs and classes. Problem solving, free thinking, first principles thinking, always asking for the meaning, always asking and investigating what is actually meant is extremely important for us. So we encourage this in our children at all times. Yeah, and that leads to a development where the kids actually can start sort of forming their own vision and forming their own sort of plan how to get there. That's really important for us. And along with it, obviously, also the creative discovery and the inspiration that follows through this. Academic excellence, like I said, only happens accidentally through, just the way we make the kids passionate about learning. Hi, Mila, I see you. So now we're at the more sort of clerical and admin part. Um, Here we have the MTA phone for all of you guys. That's the phone number for if you want to notify us that you're late or that you have to pick up the kids earlier or later. Yeah, so just so that we make sure that the people who are present, that the teachers who are present or the aftercare personnel that is there receives the message. Yeah. Sometimes, if you text your teacher, your teacher is doing a different class and is not even involved in whatever trying to let us know. So it's best to use this phone. That's our central attendance line and school phone. If you have something that you need to communicate with your teachers directly, all right, then use their email addresses. Yeah, that gives them enough time, all right, to come home, and read your messages. And obviously, if you have something that you need to keep confidential or something regarding the entire school or something, you can always use my cell phone. You guys all have my cell phone. All right, so the way this works with our after classes or after care, let me just real brief run through this. There's aftercare. Aftercare is just basically you let the kids play at school, and it ends at 5. That is available to you at any day. It's on drop-in. So if you're not coming to pick them up at 3 or respectively 3:30, I get to the study hall here in a few moments. Then they automatically go to aftercare where they can play games with their friends, they can play outside, they can do Legos, they can do clubs and so forth. So that's like any school, just a way for you to have maybe a little extra time in the afternoon, or if you have commute issues and so forth. If These are our aftercare plans, the price for just aftercare where the kids play together is $15 a day. If you want to sign up, then here in a subscription, it gets a little bit easier for you. And so that's the packages that we have that you can sign up for. Aftercare goes till 5 o'clock every day. So it doesn't matter if you come at 4 o'clock, 4:30, five. You don't really have to tell us, but by 5 o'clock, you need to start. You need to have your kids packed up. The picked up. The after classes, however, go for an exact hour. They're from 3:30 to 4:30. Hi, Antonella, I see you. Yeah, to just leave them there, and they're happy. Most of the kids want to stay in aftercare, just so you know. Now, some of you also have lots of hobbies and lots of things that you do after school. And some of these providers, so we work with third-party providers, such as piano teachers, such as a soccer club, such as a chess club, an archery club, and some of our teachers also provide classes after school. Those are literally lessons that you can sign up for, like say, instead of um, rushing to get your kid and driving them to a piano lesson. Okay, you can also have piano lesson at our school and schedule that individually. You can have golf lessons, you can have STEM and robotics lessons, you can have art lessons. So these are lessons, etiquette and fine dining, as well as character development. Our very own Mrs. Fowler, who has the Florida School, who owns the Florida School of Etiquette, um, facilitates that. So if you want to do any of these third-party classes, we need to see how many kids are signing up for them. So aftercare is always available. That's done by our school personnel, but the third-party providers, they require a minimum participants like of 8. Okay, so this is why we did the survey with you. I hope you saw this. Okay, the PTA, Alison Convery actually helped us to set that up. So thank you very much. Like the survey for the meal plan and for the PTA and for the after classes, those are just checking out with you what you want. That's not a sign up yet. Okay, except for the PTA. And we get to that here in a moment. So these after classes, they cost $150 a month. All right. And that's basically like a subscription. So, you subscribe that with these people, FC America, the archery club, the archery company, the dance instructor, the dance studio, the etiquette school, the golf instructor, and so forth. So we need a survey from you. If you haven't filled it out yet, what you're interested in. So we need to see if we can even get 8 people together. That is sort of before we all sign up. I need to know, do you even want golf lessons? Do you even want fine dining lessons and so forth? And then on Thursday, we're gonna narrow it down, okay, to the ones that we do for this semester or quarter actually. We can change it every quarter. So most of these companies they offer this on a quarterly basis. So we can change it after a quarter. In the past, guys, it's been ongoing. And we kind of know which of these after classes are successful and what the kids love the most. We just added a few to it. So we want to know from you if there's anything in particular that you would enjoy, instead of having to pick up your kids and rush them to another place, actually having at Master Tree. Okay, so you just leave them there longer. This is really to make it easier for you. Okay, and then if you want them to stay in aftercare afterwards, that's fine too. But if you sign them up for these after classes, these the enrichment, then they end at 4:30. And if the parents are not there, then the kids go to the aftercare. Similar is our the procedure with the meal plan, the lunch that we want to provide. Has been a request from many of you for several years already, and this is the first year that we're doing this. So right now, all we're doing is, again, a survey. Do we even have enough parents together to make this worthwhile, okay, for a company to do this? And the answer is, based on your surveys, 14 families have responded. Okay, we're definitely gonna be able to offer lunch for your students. It's gonna be um, most likely, Miss Sharia needs to correct me here, but $10 a day for lunch, and then 40 if you sign up for the whole week. And the way this works is that she'll provide a meal plan for the whole month. Then you can see what we have on what day. All right, and these meals are kind of designed based on your guys' survey. So if you have stuff that you would like to see on our meal plans, all right, then and you haven't done the survey, which you can see on our website, okay, then go there and let us know what sort of certain foods are, that you would prefer, whether it is, rice dishes, pasta dishes, with meat, without meat, and so forth, is something that you need to inform us about. The sign up for the meal plan. So we are still in the survey stage right now. Yeah. On Thursday, all right, we're going to go into the sign up phase. Okay. On Thursday, we go into sign up phase. So by Friday, whether it's the after school classes that begin next week, starting on Monday, what is this, the 16th, 17th? Okay. Aftercare starts, after classes start, and meal plan starts. Yeah. After the welcome week. Okay. So on Friday, we need your sign-ups. Yeah, because then we can let the third party providers know. I know that you guys will need the days for the after classes, obviously, because whether or not you want them to go to after depends on the days. At this very moment, we still need to know if we even can get enough signups for them. And then as soon as we know, okay, we have at least 8 kids that want to do it, okay, then we are finalizing the days. And we're going to give you the days on Friday when you come to watch your kids' Olympics presentation for you. Okay. We're going to give you, the sign up sheets for the meal plan or the after classes and have them on our website as well, if you rather do it electronically. So at this point, I would like to hand over the microphone to Allison, who is starting our PTA, our Parent Teacher Association. And I saw you earlier there, so I know you were here
I'm
somewhere.
here.
All right, I'm going to mute myself real quick.
Okay, so this is a collaboration that we came to agreement of how do we create more community and more involvement as a school to come together. And so we said that this is the next step is we need a PTA. And part of the PTA is to take the stress off the teachers so that we can help be involved in things that help arrange like okay we're going to get the kids arranged for the field trip, stuff that we want to get organized, fundraising, and all different sort of projects that they wanted to fulfill on, but don't have the manpower to do it. And so as we come together in the PTA, we can break into groups and then we can all be in charge of different things and involved in different processes to help the school more create community and make it better for the students. And so that's my objective with the PTA, and I'm just like basically volunteering to like help put it together, but then I need your guys' help so that we can really create. Maybe you came from a different school and there was a PTA. I'm just new to this and I'm just open. I just want to be able to fulfill and help um like the teachers to fulfill to create this community. So I need everybody else's help here to also come together and help us to create this PTA. So on Friday, we're all going to be at the school because we're going to that Greek event. So I was thinking after the event, like we can kind of come together and just I can meet everybody and we can kind of get our initial meeting and then we can talk more after for our first meeting and start setting up regular meetings where we can come together as a community.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Allison. Okay. And I got a little bit distracted by this beautiful guinea pig over there. Oh, is that one of the babies? One of the
One of
little
the
guys?
babies, yeah.
No.
Her name is
Sorry.
Primrose.
Um, I wasn't planning on talking about this, but if we're gonna have a pet day where we can bring our pets and share them with the other students, if you guys have pets and want to do this, we're gonna have a little area outside. We're not gonna bring them inside the school because there's kids that are allergic, but we're gonna let the kids. We always love it when the kids share. Um, yes, you heard Allison here. The PTA is new, I already saw there's quite a few signups for from you guys wanting to be part of building this community of encouraging the sharing. So I love this. But I want to say something else. I know that many of you are always willing to help, and you always have. You don't have to be part of the PTA. We are all busy. We are all, have wear multiple hats. So if you just want to volunteer for this or this event, okay, then you don't necessarily have to sign up for the PTA. The PTA is then, going to ask, hey, we need some volunteers for the International Thanksgiving event, or like for the theater, who of you is good at like say sewing or painting or something, okay? So just so you know, so the PTA is literally all of us. Yeah. But some of you guys are better at organizing things, and that is what the PTA will do for us, and I'm absolutely 100% grateful for this. So I want to thank all of you guys who have already signed up for the PTA because, like Ellison said, it helps us teachers tremendously. We have so many ideas and we know how to do it. We've done it many times, but a lot of times we run out of time. Especially when it comes to providing field trips, for example, that's always something we love doing with everybody, but we can organize it on paper, but then when it comes to like organizing rides or things like that, we always run a little bit behind on everything. As part of our community, it's not just about, helping us work things out. It's also about having fun together. Okay. So we started out, we wanted to do the bonfire night on the Friday before the school started. But then we went into schedule issues with the facility. So, and I heard from a lot of you guys that weren't even back yet from vacation. So we're like, oh, we're gonna have to move this. Our first community hangout is gonna be probably within the next 3, 4 weeks. I would say it's the time will have to be determined, and that is what the PTA is doing for us. Yeah, so hangouts, coming together, letting the kids play, talking, getting to know each other, and especially with the teachers. Yeah, so that's important that we foster this. Now, we usually do this through our festivals. Okay, that's where we invite family and friends. So, the fall festival that's coming up, the farmers markets that we do, those are all events. The International Thanksgiving, those are all events where we invite you and cousins and grandma and grandpa and all to join. We usually take beautiful pictures that you get to keep, so always feel free to bring, your family. How to make payments. I just wanted to go through the welcome package here real quick. You can make payments with all these different payment methods, but there's a processing fee, and you probably noticed this, and many of you also have businesses that the processing fees from the payment processors have increased a lot. So there is a processing fee now when you pay with credit card. If you, however, do an auto payment arrangements with us, then there's no processing fees. There's obviously no processing fees with checks, yeah, or Zelle. So that just goes straight from your bank account to us. But if you pay with some of these, then you see that your invoice is larger. This is not the tuition that has increased. It is the processing fees that gets added on at the end. But again, if you pay with check or Zelle, there's no processing fees. And if you do recurring like an auto pay with us for the monthly tuitions, then there's also no payment processing fee. And obviously, if you pay in full, then you get a full extra 5% on your tuition. All right, so for most of you, this is already something that you have familiarized yourself with. For the new families, all of your student data, all of your invoices, all of your report cards, your norm reference tests, anything that you would possibly need, okay, for sending it in somewhere, you can look this up and download this from our Class 365. That is the student information system that we use, okay, where you find all of even the attendance data, all of this listed. So I know it's a lot. You guys have a lot on your plate. But if I take so just on a monthly basis, the number of inquiries that I get from parents, it's mostly all information that you can download yourself or get yourself from the parent portal. How do you get there? All right, you can get there through the website, or you can get there directly by typing in Class 365. It's in your welcome package. The parent portal is, I know we all have to use software for our staff, and it takes a while to get used to it. But this is where all your student data is kept. So that's just important for you to know that if you have a question about something, that's where you can go. You can see your own enrollment paperwork there. By the way, that reminds me, I still need the enrollment paperwork from some of you. You can give it to us in, like handwritten form with the forms that you got, or you can do this in the parent portal digitally, where you just sign it digitally. Either is fine. So if you have not turned in your enrollment paperwork, please do so. Most of the returning parents have already done this. Homework. Okay. So the older the kids get, the more, as I mentioned earlier, and Miss Laverne, if you want to like just do a little bit of comment here on what I'm saying, okay? Because you have tier three, so where that becomes a lot more sort of part of the kids is sort of routine and also the rigor that they have to form. But just real quick, a few words. The general rule of thumb that are recommended, for students is 10 minutes of homework per grade level. Okay, which means 10 minutes for kindergarten, or not even, maybe five, 10 minutes for first grade, 20 minutes for second grade, 30 minutes for third grade, and so forth. Kindergartners, in our case, often don't have any homework to begin with. It's more important for us that our kindergartners and first graders learn to love stories, learn to love reading. So we're really only asking you guys to read with your kids at night, read stories to them. Okay. But the older they get, you'll see that there are some aspects of rigor that we ask them to do. And so we want them to like practice spelling words, or we want them to practice the meaning of words, or we want them to practice certain math routines and so forth. Not just for sort of academic training, but also for them to learn that there is sort of a review element too, learning that there's like when they go through this and all of that was taught to them in class by the teacher personally, to review this and actually sort of bring it into their long-term memory. Um, we have what is called study hall. Some of you might remember this from high school, where the kids can stay from our academic classes end at from 3 till 3:30 to finish all their homework. Okay. Most of our kids stay till 3:30. We need to know from you if you need to have the kids picked up earlier, if you need to have the kids packed up and ready to go at 3. Okay, so let us know if your kids cannot participate in study hall, because then we have to pack them up and make sure that they are ready for you to be picked up. So in study hall, that's when we do homework with the kids. So the teachers are still there and we do homework with them. Or we practice something if you have a project like theater or whatever. Yeah, so we need to know from you, pick up at 3 or pick up at 3:30. That's all, because the kids that are staying for homework, they don't have to pack up their stuff yet. Everything stays on your desk, and we're doing, as teachers, doing the homework. Miss Laverne, would you like to speak a little bit about the homework and sort of what that means?
Well, first of all, thank you and welcome tonight. I'm excited to say hello to all of you. If I haven't seen you, I'm excited to welcome you back. Another year of learning at MTA and fun above everything, right? But I wanted to speak to you in regards to homework. I do have the older kids at MTA, and that usually means that they are getting a lot more responsibility, and the rigor of our curriculum is inspiring them to continue their learning further. And so oftentimes we're going through those learning rabbit holes that are really, really enthusiastic during class, but also take away from the usually the stories that we're doing. So we still want to explore those things that children find fascinating, and current events and things that kind of stray away from that, from our curriculum, and from all the things that they want to learn. So oftentimes, and because we have fomented a very stress-free um, environment in our classroom, oftentimes we also need to prepare them for the rigor of the higher grades. And that's where I am to tell you that it's super important to keep our kiddos on. Hopefully you can keep your child at school until 3:30 so that we can facilitate a little bit more of that homework and organization. So, and it does boil down to organization. We have a lot of classes and we have a lot of exciting projects that take a lot of time. So that gives us the opportunity to have one-on-one on the students, as well as really tailor a lot of the things that we need to do um, with our vision forward to higher grades, and to help them organize themselves. So it's really super important that you support us in that area, as well as when you see a lot of things in the calendar. They have their agenda, their planner, uh, that you support us by daily getting in the habit of looking at their folders. That's super important for me because I have different levels. I focus on their learning um, design, as well as their ability to take in information, and I tailor that to their needs. So it's important that you have that communication with me through the planner. So I hope if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. Those of my students are in tier 3, and I teach a multi-level, a multi-age group. and so do we all at Master Tree. So thank you.
That is a perfect segue, Miss Laverne. Thank you very much. To the home communication. So us parents, this is maybe a little bit different from other schools, but we're always going to be in communication with you. So we think that that connection between home and school is crucial. And a lot of times it's a missing part for a lot of schools because parents don't know what's happening in schools. Sometimes teachers will send things to home and they don't know if they receive them. So we take that part of home communication and being in contact with the teacher or with the parent very seriously because we want you to know what your kids are doing. And we also want feedback and we also want your support in that way because at the end of the day, it's all for your kid and being able to communicate with each other. So we have our MTA planners that are fully branded, by the way, this year. That's my love child, if you would, because we find that organization and keeping the kids in a structured way of writing down what they need and seeing everything that they need will help them in the future. It will help them when they get older, when they have families of their own, when they have work or whatever the case is. So really it is about the responsibility factor. The homework is just a side part. It's really about their accountability of bringing their binders home, showing it to you. They should be showing their binders to you, saying, hey, look, mom, dad, this is what I did today, showing them your journals, being like, oh, look how interesting, instead of the response, how was your day? Good. These kids do a lot. And sometimes at the end of the day, they can't even remember what they do because of how much they've done. So in their binder, you will see work that they've done. You will see they'll even write a reflection in their journals about what they did that day. You'll have weekly newsletters from your teachers saying exactly what they're doing, which also helps if you're a part-time student to see exactly where what the kids are doing when you're not there. There's going to be pictures. Check your parent teacher group chats. I know there's a lot of notifications, but hey, those pictures are amazing. So we believe that that constant flow actually really strengthens your kids' progress in life. Because if the teacher and the parent are all on the same board, then that means that the kids uh, that they're able to grow really, really well. We have take-home folders, which is easy for you because that's going to be all stuff that you need to look at. And if anything you need to bring back to school, you could put it in there. So what I'm trying to say in a long-winded way is that check your kids' binders, important stuff. They should bring them to you as well. So a little bit about the attendance policy. So we do a lot in class every single day, and we plan a lot for your guys' kids. So just let us know when your kids aren't there and let them know if they're going to be late or if you have, say, a planned absence. And what we'll actually do is if there is a planned absence or if they're late, we'll actually send you work that they did so that when they get back, that they'll feel like they're ready and that they didn't miss anything. That's the most important thing for us is that your kids feel confident when they come back to class and they feel like they're ready and that they feel like they didn't miss too much. The tardy and absence line is right there. So screenshot it, take a picture of it, put it in your phone. That's the MTA phone. And any information that you need to get to us during the day, that's always the best to text or call because as teachers, we're in class, we're with your kids all day, and we don't often have the time to look at it. All right, and then this goes along with behavior policy. So in a way, in Master Tree, we take being a good human really, really, really seriously. And what we mean by that is just universal human qualities. To be kind, be respectful, be honest, be integrous, own up to your mistakes, make good, and be open to change. I think we can all agree that those are all really good qualities. And we hold your kids accountable with it, which means that if they make a mistake, we talk it through with them. And we even have a mini, a therapy lesson with all the kids there to talk about, not therapy, but a social emotional lesson to talk about what has happened. hey, my friend told me that I can't play with them because she wanted to play this game. And we go through it with them and we give them advice on how to Mila, do you agree? Do we do that a lot? Oh yeah, look at that. And we are their advice givers. We're their mentors. They come to me and they say, "Hey, this person didn't want me to play with them." And I say, "Okay, did you ask to play with them?" And they're like, "Oh, no." I'm like, "Huh, maybe go ask and go play if you could play with them and see what happens." So it's really about that mentorship, really about that idea that it takes a village to raise a kid, but it also, you know, they just need to be able to ask questions and they just need to be able to be human, to learn how to be human. Because we often take it for granted, but these kids come into the world without anything and they really look up to their adults as role models. So we're going to communicate that with you every day in your guys' planners. There's going to be a sticker, even for the older kids, okay, of how they did that day. Oh, and the reason why we do that is just so that you guys know, so that there is an accountability and also transparency with the parents. So we even have little behavior slips. So if they slip up, not as much as an incident report if it's something severe, but you'll get that in your take-home folder if there's anything that were to happen. Most of the day, nothing happens, but this is really a way for us to stay accountable and to stay transparent with you. Just like how I was talking about the home communication, just so, and oftentimes I'll come up to you as a parent and be like, hey, blah, blah, blah was acting, there was something off today. He got in trouble today with me doing blank. How do you do it at home? How do you handle it that at home? And having a conversation with you on how you do it, because you guys are the experts of your kids. I'm just here to help you guys out and also help with those universal human qualities. Our goal really at the end of the year, every year, or at the end of Master Tree, that they come out of it being good, kind human beings who always are there to ask for help, who own up to their mistakes, and who want to make good with others, who want to apologize if they've made a mistake, and also with no shame and no guilt, but just being able to stay accountable. Which then, after the long-winded talk, I wanted to thank you guys for coming. There's a lot of people here. We have 20 people here. And I wanted to, well, we wanted to give the floor if you have any questions. I know we've run a little bit over time, so thank you with bearing with us. Does anyone have any questions about anything we talked about the planners, about XYZ? Okay.
It was a lot. So thank you guys so much for coming. Here's just a quick sort of overview of the topics that we're going to be at our parent education nights. Okay, so we're gonna sort of send a little package home for you. That's how we do this with like a material in there, and then we're gonna do a project with you that your kids already done. So they're the experts. So our students are always invited to join the parent education night. Just because it's called parent education doesn't mean that the kids are excluded. All right. But some of the other subjects that we will discuss here are of true educational nature. We want to address some subjects that are quite difficult for us nowadays in this world, social media and gaming, what that does to the kids, not just behaviorally, not just the effects on their on their nervous system. Yeah, yeah. All right, maybe you don't. All right. Well, yeah, we're gonna have a science group, a science research group here these first 2 months where we actually have tier 3 students measure what it does to our students. We're going to need volunteers for this, by the way. Yeah, so we're going to have a little biofeedback fitness trackers. I'm actually going to measure it. Okay, so yeah, anyway, so and then we have the results. We're going to talk about this. We want to talk about why martial arts, why we love martial arts. We want to talk about the values that are being promoted through martial arts apart from the physical aspects. By the way, Sergio von Schmeling just released, it's actually about to come out in a few weeks, a new book, all right, about some of these values and how he sort of learned to integrate this with over 50 schools now in the United States. Okay. And we're going to have a live book signing. Yeah. So we're going to promote that to you parents as well. We want to talk about neurodivergence with you guys because what happens is that sort of post-pandemic, we are seeing a huge surge in neurodivergence in children altogether. It's more of the norm now. And I want to talk a little bit, and we have some parents here that are neuroscientists. So trust me, it's going to be very, very interesting. Some of the things that we'll learn also about healthy nutrition, foreign languages. How do we do this? We do immersive foreign languages, German and Spanish, immersive until fifth grade. And then it starts to get serious and we're adding Latin to it. So we're really investigating the forming of language and the meaning of words to their fundamental roots. Very, very interesting. Entrepreneurship, a really big topic for us, that your kids, along with responsibility and accountability, all, sort of rather dry things, creativity, yeah, industry, that they have ideas on how to realize something, how to manifest something. All right, so lemonade stand, all these things. Okay, yeah, how to do this, yeah, how to up their allowance, community volunteering, community hours, and so forth. All that is covered in our entrepreneurship. It's going to you. Most of you will love this. And of course, the social emotional learning and the life skills. If you have any topics that you want us to talk about, guys, please let us know. Suggestions for topics here that we explore together. Always, always, we're going to have a recording. So if you guys can't make it at 7 p.m., okay, it's totally okay. We are having a recording. It's going to get uploaded onto our Master Tree YouTube channel, and that can be watched at any time. All right. So thank you all so much for coming, especially to our students that joined us here today. Maybe next time we're going to do a little bit of a student sort of lecture or something. Yeah. So let us know if you have something that very important that you want to share with all of us. Okay. And we see you guys tomorrow morning. Thank you so much. All right. And thank you, Mrs. Laverne. Thank you, Ms. Stolz. All right. And our other teachers. Miss Jen, Miss Hollick, and Miss Sharia, who all contribute, to provide this experience for your children. Okay. Bye-bye, everyone.